Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, more than 22 million headed to New Hampshire to help address opioid crisis. Let's take a listen to the video from WMER News 9. Charisse LeClaire.
Herbert Toyota still has some new 2018 Toyotas. Most models are in stock, but they're going fast. So get in there today and test drive them while they've got them. Herbert Toyota has a large inventory.
Really provides an opportunity to create an entirely new streamlined system.
That system will be made up of 9 different hubs, as they're being called. Think of them as one-stop shops. They'll allow people with an opioid use disorder to get their needs met in one place, like support services, access to recovery housing, work opportunities, training and education, and the key is location.
These 9 hubs are spread all across the state. No one has to travel more than about 45 minutes to get to one.
Governor Sununu says people can expect those hubs to be located in the areas marked on your screen, like Manchester, Concord, also Littleton, Berlin, Keene, and other cities.
We're going to use some of the existing infrastructure that's in the communities. In some case, it may be a hospital or a medical center. And then we're going to attach these hubs basically onto them, if you will. And the hubs will allow folks to walk in the door and get a full analysis.
People will be assessed in terms of which services they'll need. That will then be transferred to the spokes, so to speak, like recovery services, job training, transitional housing, and more. Pregnant mothers, new parents with an opioid use disorder, and people in the prison system will also see expanded services. The funding is due both to the governor's work with the Trump administration and Senators Jeanne Shaheen and Maggie Hassan playing a role in changing the funding formula so that small, hard-hit states in the drug crisis can get more money. And the governor is adding that New Hampshire will be looked at as a model by other states that are just starting to go through their own drug crises. Live in Concord, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. DA, woman struck, killed by tow truck, victim's relatives, then stabs driver 5 times. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
It's both beautiful and easy to clean. Call Oasis Shower Doors. Our protective glass coatings reduce cleaning time by up to 90%. All custom made and installed with the highest quality components. Get easy online estimates at oasisShowerDoors.com.
We both grew up in Beirut. We've seen a lot, but this is one of the worst we've seen.
Witnesses watched in horror as this flatbed tow truck struck and killed a woman crossing the road. Then watched in disbelief as another man, believed to be the victim's adult son, pulled a knife on the tow truck driver.
Man in his mid-40, yelling on the street, screaming, jumping on the tow truck, and then start stabbing him.
The call came in as a road rage incident.
They arrived and discovered a woman in her late 60s, early 70s, had been struck by a flatbed tow truck. That woman was pronounced dead on scene.
Witnesses say the victim's son then literally chased the driver out of the truck cab all the way up the sidewalk, slashing as he went.
Driver of the tow truck was stabbed approximately 5 times in the torso.
He's trying to tell the guy, I didn't see her. He's trying to defend himself. It's not like I did it on purpose, you know. It's sad. It's very sad, you know. A woman was alive 1 minute, and then the second, she's not with us.
Police are not releasing names yet, but we know the tow truck driver suffered critical injuries. The son is also being treated at a local hospital. We're live in Watertown. I'm Mary Saladin, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Stephen Johns arrested in Lewiston, sex trafficking investigation. Seven people were arrested in Lewiston on Wednesday as part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. The Johns were charged with engaging in prostitution and were arrested as part of a sting operation. Lewiston police are targeting those who solicitate prostitutions in an effort to reduce demand of those who are being sex trafficked, according to a news release from the Lewiston Police Department. The names of those arrested were not released. And now let's take a look at your European market. European stocks mostly higher as trade concerns wane. Old Mutual climbs 20%. And let's take a look at the video.
You turn this D into an A, and we promise to take everyone to Bermuda for the holidays.
Oh, it's on!
Use the card that gets you miles closer to your promise.
Hey, I got you these.
Pack your bags.
And start something priceless.
Dad, if I get an A in history, Paris?
Okay, so we have a lot going on the interest rate front as well. Jeffrey Gundlach's concerns, which our guest host Eric Lonergan says is hocus pocus, but he thinks 325 is a key level on some of the longer dated paper as well. But what is very clear is we are seeing a move out of treasuries at the moment, certainly the short end of the curve, seeing 10 and 9 year highs respectively in terms of yields for the 2 and 5 year paper. Much more modest moves so far on the 7, 10 and 30 year paper as well. I mention this because of course we have a rate decision next week, possibly a rate hike on the 26th of September from the FOMC, and in lieu of that as well, the data yesterday, home starts were very positive in the United States today. Existing home sales, advanced indicators, initial jobless claims, and the Philly Fed survey. Let's take a look at individual sectors and where we are trading on the market. Last night in the United States, utilities were an underperforming sector. Financials were moving to the upside, but today we have real estate making a mild decline, as indeed as travel and leisure and retail as we speak. On the upside, oil and gas, basic resources and banks are moving up by about 0.2% as their mean moves to the upside. AB Foods, the best performer in the food and drink sector. Individual bourses, well, let's see what's open over my right shoulder. We have the FTSE 100 trading around the 73.39 mark as well. Again, a large amount of the destiny of the top 100 stocks in the FTSE 100 being undermined a little bit by actually recent strength in the Great British Pound. GBP trading around about 131.50 versus the greenback as we speak as well. You know how this works on a very, very easy inverse relationship. Pound goes up, dollar earners are under pressure in the FTSE 100 and vice versa as well. What else have I got for you as well? That is yesterday's move on the Xetra DAX. We're waiting for a print on that. Safe to say the FTSE MIB, and I've seen more comments coming out from Mr. Di Maio, the five-star deputy prime minister of Italy, again talking about the needs of, well, actually it's a reiteration, isn't it? You've heard the same before, but it's Italian interest rather than bond markets, which are key for him on his focus as well. 21,291 is where the blue chips on the Italian market are trading. We do have a print now on the Xetra DAX, mildly easier, as you can see.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And also, European stocks traded mostly higher on Thursday, tracing gains on Wall Street as investors appeared less concerned about a trade war between the U.S. and China. GOP senators to Ford show up Monday or we vote on Kavanaugh. The overreaching message from Republicans Wednesday to Kristen Ford: show up or we're heading to a vote. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.